This is 30-year-old Brittany Zelenka. On May 7th, 2025, St. Johns County sheriffs responded to a Dollar Tree in reference to an assistant manager caught in theft. The investigation reveals that Brittany has stolen over $2,200 in cash and merchandise over a period of almost 2 months.
This case provides critical insights into Miranda procedures, felony theft prosecution, and professional law enforcement conduct.
Watch what happens when deputies arrive to confront Mrs. Zelenka, and let us know what you think in the comments below.
So what's going on?
Female, take a sign from the store. She was stealing cash and post words and returns to the system.
Okay.
She was interviewed by host arrangement on the phone. She admitted to $1,500.
Okay. And she's in the office right now. Is the Dollar Tree one of the first orders?
Oh, really? And I think the best thing for her is to go outside, out of the box, go through the system, and say what she has to say, or that she can get the help outside.
I got you. Okay. She's in the office right now? Yeah. We'll go talk to her.
Just cut the water back and it turned out real good.
Hello. I'm Deputy Toby with the Sheriff's Office. What's your name?
Brittany.
Brittany. Brittany, tell me why I'm here today.
I've been stealing from the Dollar Tree.
Okay. What exactly have you been stealing?
Merchandise and money.
Merchandise and money? Okay. I just have to read this to you because you know I have to, because I gotta ask you some specific questions. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you? With these rights in mind, do you still wish to talk to me?
Yes.
Miss Brittany, you advise you've been stealing money and merchandise. Has this been an overtime process?
I said the last 2 months.
So for the past 2 weeks, you've been
2 months.
2 months. I'm so sorry. I'm hard of hearing with this radio in my ear. So for the past 2 months, you've been taking money and merchandise. How would you go about taking the money?
Post voids. Post voids.
Post voids? Okay, can you explain post voids to me? I'm not entirely sure what that is.
Where someone would check out and get all their stuff and then they would pay for it and I would just go back and void it.
So you would void the transaction and take the cash amount that they gave to the register and take that money for yourself. Okay. And merchandise, what merchandise were you taking?
I have taken food
Okay.
and a band,
Okay.
but mostly food.
Okay. How much do you think you've taken in the past 2 months value-wise? $1,500 worth of merchandise? Just in merchandise alone?
Maybe. I don't know.
$700 in merchandise? That's just a rough estimate. You don't give me an approximate. And you think you've taken $1,500 in cash? Or you've known you've taken $1,500 in cash?
I think I've taken like, I don't know how much in cash.
If you had to rough guess, what do you think?
Like 600 in cash.
So $600 in cash and about $700 in merchandise. So about $1,300 stolen worth of stuff. Okay. What's the reason behind it?
I was staying at this hotel and they were getting pushy with needing stuff. And I felt like I had to.
What do you mean needing stuff?
Like, they need cleaning stuff. The people next to us always needed food. And I didn't know what to do. They were just very aggressive people.
Was it the hotel staff or the people that were living with you in the hotel?
It was the hotel staff and the people in the room next to us.
When you say us, there was someone else that was living with you at the time? Who was living with you at the time?
My husband, Michael.
Your husband. Are you still married to Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, the stuff stealing stems upon the demandment of the hotel staff wanting things.
Yes. And we left the hotel, and I'm willing to pay everything back.
Okay.
Because I don't want to go to jail. Because I'm not that kind of person.
You got your driver's license on you by chance? Is there anything else you'd like to add? Other than what you've taken, besides merchandise and cash?
I'm really sorry.
Do you have all the void transactions and everything, or?
Well, I got a statement,
Yeah.
and this is a small amount of transactions. It's only a small amount, it's not all. It's at least I can say maybe $1,100.
Miss Brittany, hang tight. Mr. Williams, can you come up for a second? That's for y'all. I have everything I need on Bodycam.
Oh, okay.
So, let me just talk to you a second. Just want to confirm. I need to confirm it again. You just have to ask. You want to press charges against her? Okay.
The manager provides a sworn statement to the deputy on how Brittany was caught.
Can you please raise your hand so I can swear you in? Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the statement you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. Mr. Williams, can you explain why I'm here today?
Yeah, because the associate Brittany, assistant manager, did some fraud, post boys and returns, plus take merchandise from the store. That it came out to an amount of $1,500 that we can see and she admitted to. I know that it's more, but we cannot do nothing about that.
Okay. And now explain post voids to me.
Post voids is a system that we have through a registry data. If the customer do not want it, or the customer says, I need to go to the car and get the money, or it stays there, they can cancel the transaction, and the merchandise will stay in the building.
Okay.
And the viewing that we had done, we can see that the post voids are being done with the customer leaving with the merchandise.
Okay, so a customer's paying,
Paying in
even
cash.
though it's paying, it gets voided, and then somehow the cash disappears.
That's correct.
Okay, so and Brittany, it was an assistant manager here, and she was committing these post voids. Besides her admittance, is there any identification number, employee number that links her to these post voids?
Only her ID number.
Her ID number, which is associated with Dollar Store,
Yes.
that is given to her when she gets hired.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. When did you first start noticing that this
I
was
got a phone
happening?
call from loss prevention to investigate it
When
on
was
Sunday.
that?
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay.
And on Sunday I told her that she's an AP, regional AP asset protection, that I was going to come over here today to investigate it.
Okay.
And I went through the system and I saw everything.
Okay. And when you pulled her in, she just openly admitted
Yes.
to everything?
Yeah. Open up to AP. She was the one that did the interview through the phone.
Gotcha. Okay. And she gave you all the sworn affidavit?
Yeah.
Here? She's being arrested. Okay. She's going to jail. Would you like her trespassing the dollar store after this? So I'll get that done. Gave you a case card, has my email on top. Just when you get the video footage, email it to me. Then you can
Okay, we'll have it right now and send it to her.
Perfect. Alright, cool. And it is 2:32. This conducts the statement. Mr. Williams, do you have anything else for me?
No, sir. Sounds great.
No, I'm good. I appreciate it.
It's
Yeah.
hot outside.
It is hot outside. I appreciate it. Thank you. Miss Brittany, you go ahead and grab your belongings. Let's go to my car, please.
This is the
Okay, I'll come back for that. Okay. Let me go to the passenger side of my car. Set your person, please. One more time.
Can I answer this?
I'll let you answer this. Like, go ahead and sit down for me. Miss Brittany, do you have anything on your persons as illegal contraband or anything that if you go into the jail, you will be arrested on additional charge? Okay, here's what's happening today. You're being under arrest for schemes and defraud, which is a systematic process of obtaining property from the victim over a period of time and accounting for that. Okay? I wasn't going to arrest you in the store. You didn't need to come out here and sit in the car before I do anything like that. Except for one screw. So, you have nothing on your persons or anything like that? Okay, can you do me a favor? Just pick your, you don't have to lift your shirt up, pick your bra up, shake it out, then pick up your shirt, shake that. Nothing. Alright, just go ahead and stand up for me real quick right here. Face away from the car, put your hands in the air. Do you have anything in your purse I need to worry about? Go ahead and put your hands back behind your back, like your palms together like you're praying. Push your wrist away from your back. Where's your cell phone at? And that's your husband that's calling?
Yes.
Alright, hold on. What's his name?
Michael.
Michael. Okay. Hey, is this Michael? Go ahead, swing your feet up, please. Hey, this is Deputy Toby. Let's kind of share ourselves in a plate. Hey, so here's what's going on with your wife. She is going to jail because she is being arrested for 2 felonies, which is one scheme of defraud and grand theft, due to the fact that over a systematic period of time, over the course of a month, she has accumulated over $1,000 worth of money and merchandise. So, and a Dollar Tree, which is the pursuit charge. So she is going to jail today. I'll get you there in a second. I just wanted to explain everything to you. She'll see a judge at 9 a.m. in the morning, and she'll have a fresh appearance, and they'll set a bond from there, okay? All right, here, I'll let you talk to her for a second.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Okay. You get in there with this. You're going to be in there for 24 hours. You leave your phone there and I pick it up.
Can I do that?
What is it?
Leave my phone here if you can pick it up.
I mean, you can bring it with you and get phone numbers out of it so you can call people.
No, it's the access.
No, my bank is on it.
That's totally up to you. I mean, he can come to the jail and get your property. You just gotta let the booking deputy know, or you can leave it here. It's up to Dollar Store if they want to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll leave it.
You can come to the jail and grab her phone if you have to. Okay.
I'll be okay.
You have anything in your purse I need to worry about? Any contraband, drugs, narcotics, anything like that?
Let's examine the constitutional framework. When Deputy Toby begins questioning, Brittany is in custody for interrogation purposes. This triggers Miranda v. Arizona requirements. The Supreme Court established in Miranda that suspects must be informed of their right to remain silent, that statements can be used against them, and their right to counsel. Deputy Toby properly administers these warnings before asking any substantive questions about the theft. When Brittany says yes to speaking with her rights in mind, she creates a valid waiver. North Carolina v. Butler established waiver need not be written. Brittany's explanation of the post-void method is critical. She completes legitimate transactions, then voids them and pockets the cash. Under Florida Statute 8-12.014, grand theft in the third degree applies when property valued between $750 and $20,000 is stolen. Her admitted theft of approximately $1,300 clearly exceeds the $750 threshold. This constitutes a third-degree felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. The second charge, organized scheme to defraud under Florida Statute 817.034, requires a systematic, ongoing course of fraudulent conduct. Brittany's 2-month pattern of post-void transactions clearly demonstrates this systematic element, elevating the conduct beyond simple theft. Both charges are third-degree felonies. Each carries independent penalties of up to 5 years imprisonment. Deputy Toby's probable cause for arrest is well established through corporate loss prevention documentation, sworn affidavit, and Brittany's full admission. Florida Statute 901.15 authorizes warrantless arrest when an officer has probable cause that a person committed a felony. The deputy's decision to arrest Brittany outside the store, rather than in front of coworkers, shows professional sensitivity to her dignity. His personal call to her husband, clearly explaining the charges in court process, exceeds minimum legal requirements. This represents best practice law enforcement, constitutional compliance, combined with humane treatment of suspects. Now let's evaluate the parties. Deputy Toby of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office receives a grade of A-. His legal compliance was flawless, proper Miranda advisement, thorough investigation, and well-documented probable cause for arrest. Tactically sound positioning, coordinating with loss prevention, and conducting the interview in a controlled environment before moving to the patrol vehicle. His professionalism stands out. Arresting her outside preserved dignity. Calling her husband and explaining the process demonstrated exceptional compassion. The only minor improvement. He could have explained the specific felony charges earlier, rather than waiting until the moment of arrest. Brittany Zelenka receives a grade of C. She committed serious felony offenses over a 2-month period, violating her employer's trust. However, once confronted, her cooperation was exemplary. Immediate admission, detailed explanation of her method, and voluntary Miranda waiver. Her full cooperation will likely benefit her in sentencing. Courts recognize acceptance of responsibility as a significant mitigating factor. As a first-time offender with complete admission, she may receive probation with restitution rather than prison time. But cooperation cannot undo the crime itself. Dollar Tree Loss Prevention receives a B+. Their investigation was thorough with proper documentation and excellent law enforcement coordination. The systematic review of transaction records, sworn affidavit, and evidence preparation strengthened the criminal case significantly. However, the fact that systematic theft operated undetected for 2 months indicates weaknesses in preventive internal controls. Modern point-of-sale systems should flag unusual void patterns in real time, not after 60 days of losses. Several critical lessons emerge from this case. First, employee theft costs American businesses $50 billion annually. The post-void scheme Brittany used is common. Retailers must monitor void transactions for suspicious patterns and implement supervisory approval thresholds. Second, proper Miranda procedures are non-negotiable. Deputy Toby's careful rights advisement ensured all statements would be admissible in court. Law enforcement officers must understand when custody begins and when Miranda warnings are required. Failure to properly advise can destroy an entire case. Third, professional law enforcement means balancing enforcement with humanity. Deputy Toby demonstrated you can uphold the law while treating people with respect. Protecting dignity during arrest, communicating clearly with family, and showing empathy don't weaken enforcement. They strengthen community trust. Fourth, cooperation matters in sentencing. Brittany's full admission and willingness to make restitution will likely result in a more favorable outcome. Courts distinguish between defendants who accept responsibility and those who deny, minimize, or fight at every step. Cooperation is a recognized mitigating factor. Finally, systematic fraud is prosecuted more seriously than single-incident theft. The organized scheme charge adds significant penalties beyond simple grand theft. A one-time theft of $1,300 is serious. A 2-month pattern of systematic fraud demonstrates criminal sophistication that courts punish more severely. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic you'd like us to analyze in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our second channel, Audit the Court, for more police interaction and courtroom content analysis.